diamonds glaring. Keep a nigga staring when you're wearing down a Karen. But skip shit to keep a nigga looking at you. In the bunk says you can show off your tattoo. Even if you're a Max True player, she ain't
Yo, welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is going to be action-packed today. You see, I got my hater blockers on. I got my hater blockers on today. I got them hater blockers on. I got them hater blockers on. I got them hater blockers on. Yes, I do, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all to another edition of yours truly, Uncle Luke Show podcast, right here on YouTube, www.youtube.uncleluke.tv, www.uncleluke.tv. That's where we at right now. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. This show is always brought to you by Luke Gear, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to say up in here. Because when you're sponsored by other people, then they want to censor you. Oh, well, Luke, you're a little too colorful. Can you not talk about this? Can you not use so much profanity and all that? Nah, fuck that. We keep it blood raw right here. We ain't got no censorers up in here. And that's why you love it. We broadcast also on my X channel. That's WW, not what I'm talking about. That's Uncle Luke Real One on X. We haven't figured out how to get on Instagram. That's Uncle Luke Real One on Instagram. You can follow me there. TikTok, Uncle Luke 305. Facebook, y'all always in the place. That's my fan club, my fan page on Facebook. I love it. Y'all fuck with me, and I fuck with y'all because that's what it's all about, people. That's what it's all about. I'm here in the theater, as you can say. You know, I'll be moving from location to location. I'll be outside one day. I'll be over there in the archives. Then I come up here in the theater, you know, with all the stuff up in here. You feel me? And that's just part of what you see back there. That's part of what you see. It goes all the way around the room. Accolades after accolades. But it's not about me. It's because you supported me. It's because of you supported my artists. It's because of you have always supported Luke Records. And you've been doing that for over 40 years. This is our 40-year anniversary, people. You might not hear people talk about it because they so full of hate. They don't want to talk about it. They want to talk about everything else but 40-year anniversary of Luke Records. We started hip-hop in the South, just so you know. But we celebrating it here every day. But I'd like to welcome you all. I want to thank you because I know you could have been doing so many other things, but you tuned in and you came here. And you know, I just like to say this. I'll be out and about and I'll be all over the place and people always tell me, man, I saw the podcast. I saw the podcast. So that tells me, that inspires me to do more. They say, I saw it, I heard it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're now on Podbean over there. You can hear the whole show and you can see it, and we're on to platforms. Soon we'll be on iHeart and all these other places, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it is crazy. We have probably 8 different new platforms that we'll be on starting next week. And it's all because of you, because of the success of this show, and because, you know, you're all right with me being blood raw. And I always give you a different perspective than what everybody else gives. News is news. We understand that. But there's always different perspective. There's always, it's coming from different places because a lot of times the information that you're getting is tainted with. Some people want a certain type of narrative to be given, and they want everybody to fall in line with that particular narrative. But over here, you're going to get something different each and every time. So we start off today with some breaking news. We got breaking news today. One of my players, Ray Ray Joseph, jumped in the portal. Nathaniel Joseph, breaking news, he jumped in the portal. Ray Ray, University of Miami, receiver, jumped into the portal. That's one of my receivers. He played for me at Miami Edison Senior High. And I did have a conversation with him. I did talk to him today. You know, with my young players, and remember, man, I've been coaching since 2003. Whether it was Little League, Pop Warner, then I ended up going to high school. Coach Telly Lockett gave me my first opportunity to coach at Miami Central. We won the first state championship in the history of Miami Central. We did that. And so from that point on, I just kept coaching. You know, Telly Lockett went to the college, Chris Perkins in college, all the coaches in college. We have a whole bunch of kids that went to the league. Then I ended up going to the West, becoming defensive coordinator, then Norland, becoming defensive coordinator. Then I took over my own school, Miami Edison. Been there for the last 5-6 years. We got some great kids that's out in college all across the country. They're doing their thing. Ray was one of the first classes, one of the first group of kids that's out there. You know, we got some kids that's in the league. We got a lot of kids in the league. We got a lot of kids doing big-time college football. Let me just say this, and I know a lot of people have been calling me up, asking me my opinion. I got a lot of people from the University of Miami calling me up. They just want to check my pulse. They want to check my pulse. They want to know how I feel about the situation, because at the end of the day, I am a high school football coach. You know, I had a great conversation with Ray, and the first thing I asked my players is this. I said, why, you know, why now? What did you, how did you come to this decision at this time? And when did you come to this decision? Now, we've been talking about it. I ain't gonna front. We've been talking about it. We always talk about, and I talk to all my players. That's what's important for a high school coach, to talk to all your players, where their mental state at, where they're at, whether they're starting or they're not starting. And we talked about it throughout the season. You saw he wasn't playing. He went in and said, okay, I wasn't playing the first 4 games. You know, you have to make a crucial decision, because if you play in that 5th game in the NCAA, then you'll burn a year. If you go out there for one play, you're going to burn a year. Now, if you come in playing the bowl game in these playoffs, that don't count. So Ray had an opportunity to be able to play in these bowl games right now. That wouldn't count against him for a year, because now we're on a whole nother year. So that was the big question there. Why now? You know, we talked about the red shirt. He went in and told the coaches, hey, look here now, remind you, this is a 4.2 GPA kid. He went in and told them, hey, look, don't look like I'm in your plans. I ain't playing the first 4 games. You know, I understand this is a business, and, you know, I don't want to burn another year, because if I burn a year, then it'll be, I only have 1 year left. So I know that fans are going to be like, they're going to fan it. But when you're a parent, when you're a coach, when you're a player, you got to make a crucial decision at that moment. Would another college want a player that only has 1 year left? Would a college want a player that has 2 years left? I think it's more beneficial for a college to take a player with 2 years left on his clock versus 1 year. So he had to make a business decision early in the year. He wasn't being used, and so he wasn't in the game plan. I mean, people tried to create this narrative. It was him versus Malachi Tony, and that's not how football works. Yes, him and Malachi played the same position. Yes, Restrepo, he was playing behind Restrepo, and it was supposed to be next man up at that position. But when you play wide receiver, you play all 4 positions. That's why if you even look at Malachi, any other players that play receiver, they line up all over the place. When you go in the receiver room, you're supposed to learn all the positions, no different than the old lineman. You learn all 5 positions, including center, because never know when you're going to be needed. The right tackle, second team right tackle, now you got to go to left. Now you got to go to guard, because the guard got hurt and you're the next man up. You're the best possible player that can come in and give us something. And so it never was a thing, him versus Malachi. You know, the fans and some people try to create that narrative. It was him versus the entire room. So unfortunately, he got to the point, you know, where the coach, Kevin Beard, didn't feel like he fit into what he was doing. Now, mind you, Kevin Beard didn't recruit him. It was the previous offensive coordinator that recruited him. He was the receiver coordinator. And so Kevin Beard didn't recruit him. under no circumstances. So we talked about the whole conversation of him coming to the decision as to why would he come to the decision at this point right now. He had some words about the situation. Did you have a conversation with Coach Mario Cristobal? Yes, he did. How did he take it? He was okay with it. And he said that he was going to continuously try and recruit him, because what you do in college football these days, you still try to recruit your roster, and you still try to recruit the kids that jump in the portal. So it's never an ending situation. You never burn bridges. That's why one thing I like about Nathaniel Joseph, out of all the kids I've coached, and I've coached a lot of great kids. I've coached Kalijah Kancey, first-round draft pick. I coached Amari Cooper. I coached Artie Burns. Levante Davis on my field. I mentor Edgerrin James, mentor Ron Sapp. I can go down the list. William Joseph, first round. A lot of kids I coach and a lot of kids I mentor, and I always told all of my kids, even the current ones that I coach right now, never burn a bridge, because you never know when you have to cross it. And that's some things that some coaches need to know. You know, I've had kids transfer, get kicked out. It's my job as a coach to get my kids somewhere. It's my job to do that. So they always fall back. That's why I say a lot of times, a lot of people have these, a lot of kids have these agents, and these agents ain't necessarily this new era of football. It all falls back on the high school coach. That's why I want to tell these kids and their parents, watch what you're doing with these agents, because these agents represent multiple kids on the same team, and they're not going to go and question the coach or ask questions about a player like they would if they were in the NFL. And then at the end of the day, these agents don't have enough relationships with all the colleges, so you'll end up falling back to your high school coach to help you get the way you need to go at, which is what happens. So don't be too quick to jump on these agents, because they can't get nobody nowhere. And then they get a kid on the team and they get them in a situation where they can't support or defend that kid. But in the case of Ray Joseph, I wish he would have did good at the University of Miami. I wish he had an opportunity. He never got an opportunity to play on the field. Since Kevin Beard got there, he never got an opportunity. I would say this and have a conversation with Ray. And like I say, again, I have no ill will toward Mario Cristobal, University of Miami. I talked to Roland Smith today. Not one individual over there, because that's the business. It's only 11 can play. You can have 105 on the rosters. I would not be the first high school coach to have a kid that had to get in the transfer portal. I had one last year. Had another one the year before. They got in the portal. I had one get drafted. I had 2 or 3 get drafted. So these are the things that happen. You don't have ill will toward the university that they left, that it just didn't work out for them. You don't do that, because next year there's another kid, and so on and so on. That's the business. University of Miami go out and win this national championship that we're all praying for. We'll come back, have a ticker tape parade, do all those things. Then I'll go over there and have a conversation with Mario Cristobal about how Nathaniel Joseph, in my opinion, was treated, and how we were going to work together moving forward, or if not. But I can tell you right now, I would never work with Kevin Beard again in life. I've been coaching since 2003. I've been in high school for over 15 years. I've never said this about a college coach in my life, that I will never, ever work with that coach. I would never have respect for Kevin Beard for some of the things that he said in my life. I'm going to have these conversations with Mario Cristobal when it's all over because I don't think it's the right time. We need to win a championship. But I can tell you right now, this is a recruiting season, and they're recruiting 26, 27s. I'm sorry, 27s, 28s. And you got to go do that. Mr. Beard has my school. He cannot come to my school or any other school that I coach at under no circumstances. Because there are times when coaches cross the line. This is the first time in my entire high school coaching career that a coach has crossed the line like this. And Mr. Beard crossed the line. When I tell you he crossed the line, he crossed the line. And so if he gets that message, there's no need to call me under no circumstances. Coach your group, get them ready, win this championship, and good luck to the rest of your career and your life. I will not have this conversation with nobody about what was said and how it was said because it cuts real deep. It got personal. And when it gets personal, I'm the wrong motherfucker to get personal with. And you can say that. So we as coaches, we can only play 11. I have 60 kids on my roster. You can only play 11. But I keep it a buck and I keep it 100 with each and every one of those kids. And I demand that all my coaches keep it a buck and keep it 100. I keep it football. You go compete, you win a job, you don't. If you don't win a job, then so be it. You don't win a job. But I never tell a kid, you didn't win the job, and I would never take a kid from the park where you came from because your park is a sorry-ass park. I would never say that. That's crossing the line. That's getting a little personal. I would never tell a player, see, one thing I learned, never take a kid from a sorry-ass high school. Really? Kevin Beard, what about your high school? Did you win a state championship when you were there? Miami Edison got first-round draft picks. Miami Edison got players that got drafted. Miami Edison got players that play big-time college football. Miami Edison has arguably one of the best wide receivers in the history of the Miami Dolphins. That is Nat Moore. That's crossing the line, Kevin Beard. It's crossing the line when you say some shit like that. And there's more, but I'll wait. And I'll have that conversation. Life goes on. Life goes on. Everybody be all right. My phone blowing up right now. I got tons of coaches calling up looking for the services of Nathaniel Joseph. He'll go somewhere. He'll be productive. He'll do great. It's 4.2 GPA. He ain't went to no charter school that gives out the grades. He'll be okay. He'll be a productive young man in this world. He'll be okay. And just like every other kid that jumps in the portal right now, who it didn't work out for them, they'll be all right. They'll be focused. But the question becomes whether a coach crossed the line. And now you have to go back to see that coach at that school. Or here's the tricker. Here's the kicker. You never know what school that coach might end up at. He may end up at one of them schools where you feel like all the best players come from. See how that shit work? Never burn bridges nowhere. So moving on to burning bridge. Texas A&M O-lineman had some choice words for Rueben Baines. Now, Rueben Baines is my firecracker guy. I know Rueben Baines since he was a baby. Mom and dad, no dad, Big Baines. I go get all my fireworks every year from Baines. That's a kid of our community. That's one of our kids. Just like Ray, just like Ruben, just like you name it, all the top kids that came from this community. See, in Miami, we're a closed community. We're a jointed community. We're a very closed community. And we love each other. We try to beat each other brains out when we're playing against each other. Our kids are going to compete against each other, but our kids and our parents have a mutual respect for the game, and they have mutual respect for what us coaches do and what we go through, and we're all solid together. And it's another thing. When a coach crossed the line and talking about a kid while you're recruiting him to another parent, 9 times out of 10, Beard, it gets back to me. Sometimes we all say, well, why this kid didn't go to school here? What happened? Because we just don't understand it. Why didn't he commit here? Can't be money because we offer all the money. Can't be this. There can be something you said. Let me take my glasses off. There can be something you said, because ultimately it gets back to the Godfather. Hey, Mom, why did you go to the school we all love? But Luke, let me tell you this. This is what was said. We'll discuss that at a later time and a later date. But for right now, we're talking about a burning building. Texas A&M offensive line coach, you want to talk shit about Ruben Baines? Let me just say this. Ruben Baines going. I love Ruben Baines' interview. I don't have the clip of it. I should have put it up here. I love what he had to say. I love what he had to say. And when you call out a boy from the city and you go to talking that shit, you can rest assured. What did Ruben say? What did Baines Jr. say? When I get tired, I'm gonna think about what you said. When I keep going, I'm gonna think about what you said. When I'm not tired, I'm gonna think about what you said. So I want to say this to Texas A&M: don't chip him. Don't start taking over that running back and helping out. I want you big ass fucking old lineman. I want you big boy to tell your coach we don't need no help. Because if you get a bandage and if you need to double him, then you're a bitch. That means you said that bullshit talking about we can handle whoever and whenever or whatever. But if you need the running back to come over there and help you, you tell your coach you keep that same energy, big boy. You keep that same energy. And you tell your coach, do not help us block this motherfucker. And we're going to see how that shit end up, because Baines and Mesidor and Big Boy in the middle, they're going to be coming up there whooping your ass every play after every play. Remember, Baines don't come out the field. So it ain't going to be no period of time where you're going to have to get some air, fat boy. You're going to get your ass whooped. Play after play after play, because I know city boys don't play like that. That's a city boy. I'm just telling you. You got to know where his mama and daddy come from. They ain't about that life. They raised him the same way. And he's about that life. I can't wait to see this fucking game. I really want to go up there. I really want to go and see that game. I want to go in that College Station with my damn chest out. I know we're going to win that game, but I don't want to talk about the next one, because we got to stay focused and take care. We got to go take care of that business right there. University of Miami whooping these people ass. But speaking of University of Miami, and it's been all said about this University of Miami and put us against Notre Dame, who to take, Notre Dame, who to take. Notre Dame athletic director running around talking this bitch shit, talking about, oh, ACC tried us. They were talking about, and we have a relationship with them. No. You just have your other sports in the ACC. You don't have your football in the ACC. The ACC bent over backwards numerous times to support you, Notre Dame. Why would you go after this man? This man here we've been on this goddamn ACC commissioner because he's allowed you and Notre Dame to come take advantage of our conference. If you want to be fully in our conference, come in there and cut the deal and be fully into the conference. We've been allowed you to play for the conference championship when you had no opportunity to get you into the playoff in COVID. And you still gave us your ass to kiss. How could you play for the conference championship in the era of COVID and still get your money from NBC? How about going and cutting that deal? You expect the man to not cake for his team in the conference? You think he's supposed to not say, hey, look, Miami need to be in over everybody? That would be fucking malpractice if he didn't do that. You really think he was supposed to be acting like you were in the conference and he was taking up for you over another one of his programs? He had Duke winning the ACC championship. That would have been a better argument. But say, hey, look, our champion is not in the shit. No, he told Duke, shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up, Duke. You got 5 losses. You ain't about to win shit. That's not an argument. We got to get Miami in here. And then you people at Notre Dame want to talk shit. But you know what? Everybody always say, you know, when people talk shit like Notre Dame, you think they got somewhere to slide to. Like the Big 10, Big 12, SEC. But here's what another commissioner had to say about what Notre Dame has been saying.
This, and I'm a little outspoken about it. I don't like how Notre Dame's reacted to it.
So
okay, I think Pete's his behavior has been egregious. It's been egregious going after Jim Phillips when they saved Notre Dame during COVID. We all knew, and it was very transparent. Hunter was very transparent about it, the chair, that as Notre Dame and Miami got closer together, head-to-head would be a factor. Okay, BYU lost. They became closer together, head-to-head made a difference in that decision. So I think he is totally out of bounds in his approach, and if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing.
You see what I'm saying? Now, you think Notre Dame, somebody, look at me, I respect that Big Ten commissioner to the utmost because he kept it 100. And he said, look, man, if you'd have been in this, if he'd have been in this room right now, I would say the shit in his face. Because the shit that he's doing is egregious. It's wrong. It's wrong for you to go after the commissioner when you know you're not in a conference. So I respect the shit out of that man for saying that. And what the fuck does Notre Dame get off thinking that they could just bully you're not in a conference. You're getting your $50 million from NBC. And NBC ain't getting this money's worth because you ain't blowing the doors off with the ratings. And you just want to bully your way into a championship. But then, heck of the crazy part about it. The commissioners all agreed and told Notre Dame for next year, if you win 12 games, if you win 10 games, you go 10-2, you're automatically in. Some shit like that. Please don't quote me. I want to say it's 10 games, 12 is all the games. We know they're in. It may be 12. But if you win all the games, you're automatically in. That's still giving them what they want. How about telling Notre Dame, get your ass in the motherfucking conference? Because how do you get preferential treatment because you got a contract with NBC? You can keep your contract with NBC. You can play all your home games on NBC. But you need to get with a conference. You can still cut that deal. That deal was already cut in COVID. You still played all your games on NBC. You still played for a conference championship in the SEC, the ACC. Things can happen. Things can change. Things can get worked out. So I say this. Y'all need to stop letting Notre Dame punk y'all. Speaking of punking people, oh my God. I just love how all of these people who hated on Shedeur, I just love how all the people who hated on Shedeur, all of a sudden they're getting on the bandwagon. It is so amazing. Look at this touchdown. Look at this touchdown. Dropped it in the bucket and then talk shit to big guy. Then talk shit to big guy. Big guy was doing this all day. Big guy get a sack on Shedeur. He doing this. Big guy do this. They get one interception. Big guy doing this. Big guy doing this the whole day. And then Shedeur come back, drop that motherfucker a dime in the back of the end zone. Or you should have seen the pass. It was a dime. A 5th round pick. Making those type of throws. You saw the throw that he threw to Jerry Jeudy in the alley. You got guys that's been in the league 100 years can't make that throw, can't make that decision, can't go through the progression to be able to make that throw. We knew this young man was special. We knew Mel Kiper even told you he was a 1st-round draft pick. Mel Kiper told you he was a 1st-round draft pick. Even the craziest person in the world knew that this man was that guy. Your President Donald Trump. We all knew he was supposed, we knew it was collusion with the owners. And he's showing you every day. Even with Stefanski. Stefanski got to the point where it's like, okay, hold on, fuck this shit here, man. I'm not playing him. He did everything in the world to not play him, but then it's football. Because the starter is always one play away from getting injured. And then the backup got to go in there. And when the backup got to go in there, to be real with you, I feel a little some kind of way about Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel is not the villain in this, people. Don't look at him like he the bad guy, he the bad cop. He just got thrown into this situation here. Dillon Gabriel just got thrown into this situation by Kevin Stefanski. He got put in this. Most rookies sit down and watch the game. Stefanski threw Gabriel out there and used him as a sacrificial lamb because he knew. It's like me. I know an artist got that it. I know a football player when they got that it. I can look at them, see how they walk, talk, how their attitude is, how they carry themselves, and you be like, that motherfucker got that it. You don't get all this shit on the wall and all the way around the corner here if you don't know talent. You got no talent. You can like it or not. You got no talent. You can like the music, you go not like the music, but you got no talent. When you've coached multiple 1st-round draft picks, like I have, Pro Bowlers, all kinds of shit, Hall of Famers, you got to have an eye for talent. Everybody in the NFL, Mel Kiper has an eye for talent. That's why you have to pay for his list. That's why he's the best at what he does. He doesn't go out there and ruin his reputation and say Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the fucking draft. He doesn't do that. And say he should be drafted in the 1st round and he should be the 1st pick drafted. Mel Kiper don't do that. Because then Mel Kiper reputation will go in the garbage. But right now, Mel Kiper looking like a genius. We all get ready for Mel Kiper, who the fucking next guy is. Because you called it like you called it all the time. Now, Mel Kiper, granted, he's missed some. But come on, man. Tom Brady had something good to say. We always wait for Tom. All the top quarterbacks who played this game, all the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks have came out and said, this kid got that hit. He that guy. I don't know what the fuck y'all was looking at. I ain't say nothing Because I was just listening to all the experts say something. All of them. All of them. You got St. Louis, the Rams Super Bowl winning quarterback coming out. No. These guys played the position. Tom Brady like, oh, shit. I didn't know I raised this kind of guy. Because Tom Brady was his mentor. Tom Brady was the one trained him. Tom Brady was the one there. That's why we all sat up there and scratching our head. What the fuck? Tom, you over there running the goddamn, you running the Raiders? Y'all need a quarterback? Geno, I love Geno. Geno on his last leg. I mean, that'd have been the perfect person to sit back and watch how to be a quarterback, Geno. I mean, goddamn. This would have been a perfect situation for him. Y'all passed him 7 times? Everybody else passed him 5 times. The Raiders passed him 7 times. Hopefully there's a way. I think the path of getting out of Cleveland is Deshaun Watson coming back, being the starting quarterback. Cleveland lost a lot of picks when they built everybody else's team. They lost a ton of picks when they got Watson. Maybe they could now deal Shador, get a ton of picks back, and Watson be their quarterback because they're on the hook for $45 million. They can't get away from that. Ain't nobody finna get that. Ain't nobody finna assume that. And he represents $90 million toward the cap. So they can't run from that. So the best thing for the Cleveland Browns to do is to deal Shador Sanders at the end of the year and try to get some picks back. And have to live with Deshaun Watson for another couple of years. Hopefully he be the quarterback that he's supposed to be. Stefanski did this. He put himself in this situation. The Browns put themselves in this situation. But the good part about it, the Browns, you need to look at the bright side of it. You got a young man playing good. You got Gabriel that could be your backup, your backup. Everybody in America, there's no quarterbacks coming out in college this year. Everybody ass. So the best thing can happen right now is you can deal with Shador Sanders and get you some picks. The Raiders is going to be sitting there picking number 1 again. First pick in the draft. So what you do is you say, give me your number 1, and we're going to give you Shador Sanders. Raiders. That's what Cleveland got to do. So that's why when you come to the Luke Show, you get a whole different perspective. That's what I'm telling you. It makes sense for Cleveland. If they're smart, you let Shador, they have already announced that he's the quarterback for the rest of the year. Let him play for the rest of the year. Build him up. Let him ball out. You're stuck with a Deshaun Watson. You take Shador. I'm praying this happens. Please, Lord, let him get the fuck out of Cleveland. You take Shador and you deal him to the Raiders or some other team or to the Dolphins. You deal him to one of those other teams, get you some draft picks for him that you lost by getting Deshaun Watson. Now you got to eat this Deshaun Watson deal and hope that he come back bigger and better with your guy Stefanski. That's why they're not getting rid of Stefanski. Everybody's like, why the fuck they don't fire this dude? They're not firing this dude. No, this dude brought in Deshaun Watson. And the reason they brought in Deshaun Watson, people, you got to remember, Deshaun Watson was balling out in Texas. He wanted more money. He was doing his thing. I fuck with Deshaun Watson. But he got injured. And that's what happens in the game. Somebody get fucked up. But the reason why they got Deshaun Watson because Stefanski fucked up the quarterback that's balling out in Tampa Bay right now. He fucked him up. He had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield going to Super Bowls and shit, winning like a motherfucker. He had Baker Mayfield when they had my good friend Tank. lose all those games to get all those draft picks. Then they bring in Stefanski. See, God don't like ugly. When they did that to that black man over in Cleveland, they have been forever cursed. They had the black coach go over there and tank. He tanked. They got all the draft picks. They got Baker Mayfield. He coached Baker Mayfield for a half a year. In his rookie year, they fired him. He went over to Cincinnati and became the assistant OC or some shit. And they then hired Stefanski with all these draft picks. That shit didn't work out because God don't like ugly. The football gods don't like ugly. With all them goddamn draft picks that guy got them, they've been ass ever since. And so they put themselves in that predicament. See, people don't talk about that. People don't talk about that. But I will, because I'm not represented by CAA. I wish I was, because they get their artists on everything. They tours and all that. Come on, holla at me, CAA, but I'm over here with Universal, somebody or something. So speaking of all this, people, speaking of shit show, I mean, they're all coming back. Look at old Rich.
When?
Yesterday in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
Shedeur Sanders got better.
A little bit.
Yeah. Everybody makes fun of him, saying, just look what happens if they get more time. Don't just throw me in the middle of a game. Give me some time. See what we can do for a week. Give me a week. He, obviously, folks had their fun because he said, could you imagine what this will look like with a full offseason? That's what he said after his first win.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But
hey, gotta love the moxie.
Guess what he's
That's
doing?
some confidence right there.
Guess what Shedeur is doing? He's given his team a chance to win. Unbelievable, man. He scores 29, and the defense against Tennessee can't do a darn thing to stop him. I mean, this defense that has been lights out against so many other opponents, San Francisco being one that just leaps to mind recently. They didn't win, but boy. The Browns, watch Shedeur come up with career highs in completions, 23. Passing yards, 364. Passing touchdowns, 3. Rushing yards, 29. And a rushing touchdown. Do you know who's the last and only other rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl era to have a game with 350 or more passing yards, 3 or more passing touchdowns, and rushing touchdowns in a single game? His name is Joe Burrow. Just took a handful of starts before Shedeur put up a stat line that only other person is Joe Burrow to put one up in the Super Bowl era. Of course, he's the only quarterback to lose a game with that stat line this year. Would you believe, you want to know the list of Browns quarterbacks who have had 350 or more pass yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in a game? You want to know the list?
Well, we got to flip through the book because there's like 80 of them.
Good bit. You know what the bit is? Me doing my bit. He's the first. No one's ever done it. It's the Browns. 1.0 and 2.0. How about this one? The only other quarterback this decade to have 4 or more completions of 50 or more yards in his first 3 career starts. Aaron Rodgers. I even misread that stat. It's this century, not decade.
Say this decade. I was like, wait a second.
Century. Okay.
And
You should start playing the slow Sports Center theme because I just made a mistake. Let me just repeat myself.
Yeah.
Shedeur has done something that no Browns quarterback has ever done. And in terms of this century, only Rodgers has done. And in terms of Super Bowl era in rookie quarterbacks, only Joe Burrow has ever done.
Joe Burrow.
All right?
You hear them numbers. Do you hear those numbers? I could have just wrote this shit down and read it out, but I let Rich Eisen tell you because some of y'all have a tendency of not believing a black guy when a black guy telling you something. So I let the white guy do it. Rich, shouts out to Rich Eisen and the Rich Eisen Show. Make sure y'all go check him out. But you heard them numbers. This the 5th round draft pick. This the guy who Dabo, who got fired, talked all kind of shit. This the guy who they made up all these lies about. This the guy who in the preseason, the offseason, he was throwing to the garbage man because nobody, the coach in Cleveland wouldn't let him throw to a receiver. He had to go over there on the side and throw it to trainers and throw it to equipment people and shit. This is the guy who had to go around the corner to the park and find somebody to throw the ball to because they wouldn't even let him touch nowhere near the football field. But then he go into the game and he does what? Light that motherfucker up. Because you know what? He came from a family. He came from a dad who understands adversity, who understands politics, and they've navigated that motherfucker well. And I want to say this to the Cleveland media. Cleveland media is the worst. They're even worse and toxic as their team. That's the most toxic place because they consistently sit up there and try and bait this kid into saying something negative so that they can get the person that they want. They want him to be arrogant. They want him to be a nigga about it. They want him to say something negative about the coach. They want him to say something negative about the program. So they keep poking. They keep framing. They sit there and concoct their questions to try to get the angry black man out of this young man, but they don't get it. So he beating these motherfuckers on the field and in the media room. And unfortunately, he has to go do the media because the NFL, according to NFL rules, they will find him. But I could guarantee you, if he didn't have to go in there, he wouldn't be fucking with them people because he know what he's going in there into a toxic situation with a bunch of white people sitting in there trying to poke at him to get Farrakhan out of him, to get Malcolm X out of him, to get the angry black man out of him. And see, this is a lesson for everybody, for brothers and sisters. It ain't all the time where you gotta understand, this is the way of the world. This kid is teaching you all a great fucking lesson as to how to deal with the devil, because the devil is always working. And the first thing they get us on, why we don't get the big job, he's an angry black man. So y'all call certain white people who don't like black people, y'all call them rednecks and KKK. Well, I can tell you one thing. They look for the black necks. They look for the angry black man. The angry black man always ends up not reaping the rewards that he needs to reap because the white person pokes and pokes and pokes and pokes because they know they can't beat you on the job. They know they can't beat you on the field. They know they can't beat you in the workplace. But if they beat you by bringing out that angry black person, that's how they get you. And nobody wants to fuck with you. You could be an angry white person. You could be an off-the-cuff, say what the fuck you want to say, black person like Donald Trump. You could say that because he's white. That's white privilege. But when you come off the wrong way as a black person, they forever throw your ass in the cellar. And they've been trying to poke this kid every day. We see it. We see it, Mary Kay. We see it, Cleveland media. We see it every day. And at some point, y'all need to leave it alone because y'all keep talking about Stefanski. You motherfuckers is just as bad. You think we don't see this? Other people are now picking up on it. Speaking of picking up on it, Donald Trump and the Somalis. Donald Trump and the Somalis. Everybody who voted for Trump, I will vote Donald Trump. I will vote Donald Trump. And now this is what you got.
I'm going to do one last message before I leave. Listen, if you are a Miami Cuban or Venezuelan or Colombian, it doesn't even matter. Any Latino that voted for Trump, I need you to pay attention because this is a pass or fail exam. Today is election day for your Miami mayor, and Eileen Higgins is the person that you need to vote for. Please understand that Trump hates your guts. He doesn't like you. He wants you gone. He doesn't care that Cubans are the largest Republican voting bloc in the state of Florida. He doesn't care about that at all. In fact, he wants you gone. And not only does he want you gone, but he wants people already with green cards gone. Isn't that amazing? So I think it would behoove you in your best interest to vote for someone who is actually on your side, someone who does not have to adhere to those crazy ICE agreements that they currently put forward. And I know DeSantis is on people's backs to make sure that this happens, but having a Democratic person in office that's going to look out for you, it is in your best interest. These people don't like you, and I don't care what Telemundo or is it Univision, whoever is on the Republican side, they are not the right fit for you. Whatever the church is telling you, they don't care about you.
Everybody done fucked around and found out. Latino lady, you see her house? She got a nice, pretty house. I'm looking in the background. This lady living in a nice, beautiful house. She looks like a fucking Republican. She looks like she gets the tax credits that's available from the Republican Party. But them tax credits ain't shit if your ass got it fucking picked up by ICE. Them tax credits ain't shit if you got picked up by ICE. She fucked around and found out. But in the news flash, Eileen Higgins did win. Congratulations to Eileen Higgins. Congratulations to the new mayor of Miami, or the city of Miami. Congratulations to her. She's a beautiful lady. Eileen, Miss Higgins, y'all give her a round of applause. Miss Mayor Higgins, the first non-Cuban mayor in the city of Miami in over 30 years. In over 30 years. First white lady, city of Miami. I played that clip from this Spanish lady with the hopes that Latinos did get it. Now here's it all break down for you, which is gonna be harsh for some people in Miami. Miami has always been blue. We just turned red. Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, it's always been blue. This notion, and the lady did say some nice, cute things, but Cubans are not the largest voting bloc in the state of Florida. Black people, white people are. Then it's black people. So she did make a little mistake there. They're a major voting bloc in Miami-Dade County. But here's something that most Cuban people don't even realize. They've been gentrified too. They've been moved out of the city of Miami. City of Miami is not a Cuban-dominant place anymore. They've lost that. Cubans is not the stronghold of the city of Miami anymore. Their elected officials sold out to the developers, just like everybody else elected officials did. So it's all these foreigners, people from all over the place, they occupy Miami. They live here. Half of the people don't even live here. But the people in Coconut Grove, they ain't going nowhere. And that's where most of our votes came from. The people of downtown, that's what, they ain't left nowhere. Them people over there in over on Biscayne Boulevard, they ain't left nowhere. They still in their houses. That's where our votes came from. Everywhere else, the developers have taken over. And so they've erased a large part of the Cuban community. Southwest 8th Street ain't Southwest 8th Street like it used to be. Hell, the county mayor is a white woman. She's not Hispanic. She's a white woman. So the dominance of Cubans running Miami-Dade County, they've been gentrified just like blacks. But unfortunately, us blacks can't go nowhere, so large population of blacks are there. That's why Eileen Higgins, what she did was went over there to the black folks and said, black people, I need y'all support to win this. And she won. Now, I got a lot of Cuban friends, a lot of Cuban politician friends. I love them to death. They do good shit. They do all that. But at the end of the day, Trump don't run Miami. And on top of it, right now, everybody ain't really feeling him. Speaking of feeling him, here go another group of motherfuckers. Just like the Hispanics in Miami that fucked around and found out.
Thank you, Salman, and good morning again. My name is Faisal Deri, and we're here gathered today with the community leaders, business leaders, and youth leaders from the Somali community and from the Muslim community in Minnesota. And we're gathered here today to fully support and endorse President Trump and J.D. Vance. Some of the key issues of the community are the global wars, and we're for peace. Economic issues, family values, and education are some of the critical issues that this community cares. On top of that, this community cares about the economic issues and the inflation. With all these and a number of other issues, the community came together and fully is standing behind President Donald J. Trump. Yes.
And what the fuck this? I should show the clip what Trump said. Trump said in the Oval Office for the last 2 days that he doubled down. Fuck them Somalis. All you scamming motherfuckers, y'all done fucked up Minnesota. This same group of people. I'm gonna run y'all ass out. I need ICE to go down there and put all the motherfuckers in jail. It's the same thing. Y'all are not a part of the plan. This same dude right now running around on CNN trying to cop a plea right now. I can't believe it. I'm fully not supporting the Republican Party. We're now going over to the Democratic Party. No, you dumb motherfuckers. You should have went over there from the beginning. Trump said, all y'all scammers, your country a shit country, your thieves over there, nobody don't want to be there, and I'm getting all you motherfuckers, same motherfucker right there. All y'all doing scamming and shit, and we gonna get y'all ass up out of Minnesota. Now y'all want to run over here to the black people. When the black lady Kamala Harris told you exactly what was going to happen, when we told you exactly what was going to happen, that's why I tell all the more my FBA friends on there with Tariq Nasheed, whatever the fuck you want to be. All y'all got the same issues. Trump ain't fucking with y'all. And then another day later, what Trump say? Shit, all them black people, I vote with the black people, they voted for me. Yeah, Trump got 17% of black men voting for him. Trump know he can't erase black people in this country. Trump and Bannon and all the rest of them know that their only success with black people is to try and divide us and conquer us. That's why they got these FBA, fake-ass FBA dudes running around on social media. But even them black folks who did vote for Trump, they realizing too they got screwed because they thought it was going to get a check. They thought there was going to be opportunity. They thought there was going to be some better living under Trump. No, Trump just said, I ain't fucking with y'all because you can't fuck with black people. They can't fuck with black people because we deep in the military. Even though they're trying to get rid of all the top generals and shit, black generals, they're trying to get rid of them, low-key trying to get them up out of there because they ain't finna follow no goddamn orders anything against the United States of America. They ain't finna do it. They ain't finna do it. They'll fucking retire and get their motherfucking check, their pension check, and going on about their business and come back with the next administration. That ain't happening. We deep in the military. We deep in the police department. Y'all ain't deep like us, bruh. Around the country. So you want to shit on the black woman? It's not about us. It's about y'all. They want this thing back like it used to be back in the 60s. Black and white. Black and white. Black and white. And that's why y'all consistently fuck around and find out. So speaking about fucking around and finding out, Somali community. You go to Minnesota, there's some fine ass Somali girls. They tall and got that black hair and shit. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I don't be there long enough to know if they fuck with brothers or not. They might get kicked out of their own community if they come home with a brother. But speaking of fucking around and find out, I'm gonna go back and look at the Puff Daddy documentary, 50 Cent Puff Daddy documentary. I'm gonna go back and look at it again. I need to look at it again. I need to take it all in again. I can't just comment based on looking at it one time. I might have to even look at it for a third time because there are some things that I've seen in the documentary. I'm happy 50 Cent didn't call me because I have some interesting footage myself. And I wouldn't have shared it with him. Even though me and 50 all right, me and Puffy all right, me and all the boys all right, I'm on. So I don't get involved in messiness. Messiness. This is a hot mess played out in real life. One thing I didn't learn was I didn't know Puff Daddy was messing with everybody's girlfriend. I thought it was just a girl that I was dating. Her name was Rochelle. I ain't gonna say her last name because there's a lot of Rochelles in this world. It's like trying to holler at her while I was talking to her. Drop dead gorgeous. And then, you know, that was my friend. If that had been my woman and another dude was trying to holler at my woman, that was my woman, and that would have been a problem. But, you know, some of these guys, I guess they're pretty boys and all that. But then when the rapper did it to him, then he went over there and blew up the house. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now, if you are getting, this is the crazy thing I found out about, like, okay, I a lot of things I didn't know. And I know all these people. I didn't like, you know, you can coincidentally date one rapper or singer girlfriend, but now you got one, and then another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Then you meet up with the crazy man, the biggest troll of America, and you got his baby mama. You think he ain't finna come get you? Shit. 50 Cent. So, I'm not getting into that. But what I'm going to get into is this right here, because this young man here, outside of Nelson George, there's two reporters in the hip-hop business. Now, there are many other guys, but these are the most reputable two reporters, Nelson George and this gentleman right here. They have documented and they have interviewed all of us, whether they like our genre of music or whatever. But all these guys have interviewed the top hip-hop artists when they were here and when they became here. This guy right here. And so this part of the documentary, and I heard him speak on it because I was interested in seeing if he was going to speak on it or not. And I went to his page on TikTok and I saw him speak on it. Because I saw this part of the documentary, you know, setting it up, where it was a part where Biggie was saying that, you know, I feel like I'm going to die and all that, blah, blah, blah. and then it allude to the next day he gets killed. Now, mind you, Biggie is my friend. God bless his soul. Tupac is my friend. God bless his soul. I love them dudes with a passion. Those are my guys. I tried my best. I tried my best to put out the beef because I know where it was going to end up at. I know each one of them wasn't going to then do something to each other, but because I knew it was going to be the outside forces or the outside people with bad intentions that was going to do something, and everybody else was going to profit off of this, or somebody would be like, it wasn't going to be them two. It wasn't going to be them two. So I'm looking at the documentary and I'm seeing how things play out. Okay, that's why I got to go back and put two and two together. But there's the one piece that I found very interesting in here. Like I say, those guys are my friends. I sat down with Pac and say, kill this shit, boss. And I sat down with Biggie. And, hey, look here, man. Biggie ain't want no parts of it. Pac ain't want no parts of it. So I thought after I had talked to both of them that it was a dead issue. See, they won't interview me because that's what I'm going to say. And it was a dead issue. That's why everybody felt so comfortable. Maybe they were talking to other people, I'm pretty sure, but everybody felt comfortable that it was an issue that was nipped in the bud. And so I say this to say this, people. I love both of them brothers, and I hate this to this day to see them going. That's why when you look at the documentary, you saw me in the documentary, people sending me pictures like, that was you. Like with a stress patch in my head. I don't know what I was stressing about at that time. And I was at Biggie's funeral. Because I love both of them brothers. Love both of them. I mean, when you go pull up pictures right now today, Pac went around with a Luke bandana on his head. Pac had the bandana. I ain't telling him to wear it. Give me that bandana. Pac wore the bandana all kind of way on his head, around his face, all that. Biggie, same thing. Come to my condo, hang out with me. We talked. We did music together. One of the greatest lines I ever heard. Biggie bag bitches from barbecues to bar mitzvah. Don't use the lips, cuz. Deep throat on Luke boat. When the moon rises in our eyes is just the way players play all day, every day. Luke and Biggie. I had an opportunity. We were friends before we even worked together. But this part was very interesting. And I had to go to this young man page to find out what his take on it was. And y'all need to check this out. So when you go back and look at the documentary, there's some interesting things and some interesting narratives that's being painted.
One moment in the Diddy doc.
That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to kill me. I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really scared. I just be paranoid.
So I did that interview. He's talking to me. The doc places this right before Peterson Auto Museum, March 9th. But you know what? We did that interview on the first album. That's him talking about the street, not the game. That's him talking about, I'm afraid of getting knocked off on the street. The first time I interviewed him, we were sitting in the hallway of his building, and if anybody started walking up, somebody from the crew would go down with a hammer. Who's that? Big said to me, I am afraid of the street. But I gotta be out here. I gotta live. I gotta show him my music. I gotta show him I'm not afraid. But I am definitely afraid. But the doc makes it like that bite about his fear relates to the Big Pac situation and his fear ahead of going to LA. He may have been afraid because he knew that he was in danger being in LA in that moment, but that clip is way out of context. It's from years earlier.
See what I'm saying? That's the guy who did that particular interview. That's why I got to go back and look at this show again. Because I want to say this. It's not, I'm a storyteller. That's what I do right now. I do documentaries. I did Freaknik. We did Wars in Liberty City. We did other docs. I got other docs that I'm getting ready to do. Books. We storytell. We got a movie. We storytell. We got two more projects in the works. Sitcom, another show, a 2 Live Crew movie. And it's important to get it right. I mean, just speaking of even the movie on Luke Records, 2 Live Crew and all that. You go back and forth because the writer and the producer has a way of wanting to put it, and they'll fight you on, oh, well, this is what the public wants to see. This is how we get this over to the public, but it ain't necessarily right. When you're dealing with real life situations, you have to stand firm as the producer, as the executive producer, as the person who's in charge of the project and say, no, we're not going to do this like that. Like there was a part in my movie where they tried to almost make the white guy in the movie like as if this some Jerry Heller shit, like it was a white guy that started Luke Records. No, I started Luke Records out the trunk of my car. But that looks good for TV. He's the villain. It's almost like fucking NWA. No. We ain't gotta do that. We got enough shit. We ain't finna lie. We ain't finna say no white dude started no Luke Records. No, they work for me. And so people have a tendency of moving stuff around and they say, but that looks good for TV. That looks good for the movies. And then they fight you back and forth on that there. But that gets put out into the world. And there are people who know the real truth. And unfortunately, we got social media like we have right now. And the person who did the actual interview is still living and have a platform, thank God, to be able to say, no, this is wrong. I did that interview. That's set up all wrong. So it's very important for you all to look at these things, these shows, and it's very important for filmmakers to also do the right thing, man. Do the fucking right thing. Push back on these producers because I know these producers want that shit like that. That was a very, very important part of that documentary. Biggie to think that he's getting ready to get killed and he's feeling like somebody's getting ready to kill him. Now y'all are, I mean, all the other stuff, the boogeyman, you created the boogeyman, but then for the mere fact that make him feel like he get ready to get killed and then somebody is pushing him to stay in LA, it gives you the impression that he was set up. But then you took that was an interview a year ago on the first album. That wasn't right then. It's not cool. And I end the show with that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the Luke Show today. Hopefully you are having a beautiful day today. We'll be back. We'll be back making more podcasts. Thank you for joining me on YouTube, UncleLuke.tv. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. We'll air this on our other platforms, Uncle Luke Real One, Twitter, Uncle Luke, Uncle Luke fan page on Facebook. I'm going to tell you guys right now, starting January 1, you'll only be able to find the Uncle Luke Show podcast only on Podbeam and all the other social media platforms because I just cut a deal, and you'll only be able to find it on YouTube. You'll get the clips on every other program, but at the end of the day, that's where you'll be able to find us, and you'll be able to find us also in the. I'm trying to cut this deal where y'all find us in the section on X where the subscriber section, Facebook, y'all might be ended January 1. So that's why I need you to go over there to YouTube. We're always our home, our main home is at YouTube, UncleLuke.tv. Make sure you're always over there, Luke Show. That's where we're at. That's where we ain't going nowhere. So go over there right now so you can not miss no episodes. And if you forget over the holidays, then you'll know where to find us at, because you might not find us on these other platforms. That's where we'll be. We didn't cut the deal. We're doing good. And it's all because of you. Thank you for another edition, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week. I love y'all. And the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours. Peace.
Pull out the stick, come shoot that. Booty poke out like a book bag. Booty poke out like a book bag. Pull over ass too fast. Come we gonna bring that Uncle Luke back.